Hi there, this is Alex from Who Target, so come in and enjoy. Today we're going back to the top 10. So today I'm going to be doing the number 9, I think it is, of the modern episode. It's everything from Christopher Eccleston all the way up to Shooty Gatwa. Now that's the last Doctor. Maybe, who knows, we might have Billy Piper next. We don't know yet. So number 9 for modern is The Long Journey. I think I've got the episode wrong there. It's the Simon Pegg Satellite 9 episode. So I apologize, I've got the title wrong there. I think it's called The Long Journey, or it might be called The Long Game. No, it's called The Long Game. I apologize, it's called The Long Game. I just remembered. It is called The Long Game. And yes, it was really difficult to decide number 9 because originally, this is why I haven't done it for a while, so I apologise for that. The number 9 was going to be Darlek, the first Christopher Eccleston Darlek episode, and then I put that up on my socials, and everyone went, no, you can't have that, that's number 9, that's be way further down. And then I rewatched it and totally agree, it's an absolutely excellent episode, and we'll be coming up probably later nearer the top 5, I think, of this list once we get there. So the Long Game is this whole thing where we've had the Dalek episode, they're reeling a bit from the Dalek episode. So the Doctor decides to take Rose and Adam, who was the researcher kid on the Dalek episode, basically, and who they save, and ends up going Rose and the Doctor for another adventure, basically. And he was not bad in the Dalek episode. It was good comedy with Billy Piper being excellent and Rose and all the Dalek stuff. That was good. You take him to this episode, and he really becomes the annoying part. That's why this is a 9, not a higher, because there are some really good things. Simon Pegg is excellent in this episode, but it's just not that great. Bits with Adam are really annoying. The whole bits where he gets his head replaced and gets the chip inside his head, because there's a whole game station where everybody is sucked into playing game watching TV because they have chips in their head and they can do everything with their heads. And it's done that way. There's some quite nice special effects when the head skull comes off and you can see the chip and all that later when the Doctor clicks his fingers. That's quite fun. But Adam's quite annoying. He starts off being, quite a happy, fun character. They go to the space station, the Doctor's giving them tons of money. He tells them to enjoy, and then he notices that things aren't right, and the episode goes from there. And you've got this great guy who's running the Space Station News Corporation. It's basically, it's an allegory to Rupert Murdoch and all those sort of big companies who control everything we watch and do these days, apparently. And Simon Pegg is the controller, and he works out that the Doctor and Rose aren't quite right because he's also being controlled. And this is another thing that doesn't really work, in my opinion. But I'm not even going to try and pronounce it. It's a stupid name. But it's the guy in the ceiling who runs the whole corporation. Looks like a ginormous slab of offal, basically. It doesn't work. It's a really bad special effect, in my opinion. But, I always got to go with the plus side, not just the negative here. So, plus sides of this episode are Simon Pegg's character's really good. Billy as Rose and the Doctor wandering, she's doing the thing the Doctor taught her with Adam, and that's quite good. The bits when the people who work there try to take over the corporation and bring it down, she's very good. I'm not too sure who plays her part, but she's very good. It looks great. There's some fun bits there's quite fun bits with the whole spikes in the head and how everything comes through, and the fact that Adam's probably going to ruin the whole microchip industry by telling answering everything about the future, which is quite scary. So overall, it's as I said, it's a 9. That's why it's moved from Dalek being 9 to this one being the 9. The Long Game is a not bad episode, but it is let down by things like the bit with Adam is terrible. The special effect for the main big monster looks absolutely awful, for my opinion. You might disagree with that, so let me know in the comments. And if you haven't already shared these videos before, please subscribe and hit that bell is always great. So I said that earlier. You probably won't get this far. Yeah, that's great. So overall, a 9, I think, for this episode, because it has good characterization. It has a not bad script. It has that sort of earnest, Rose wants to begin with, and Adam comes out the TARDIS and wonders about technology and the future and all that. But, they drop him off, he runs out, does all the things that annoys the Doctor, so they bung him back to Earth before we get to the next episode, basically. Simon Pegg, very, very good character, quite menacing. I think he would have been better if it was just him as the villain, not the lump of meat in the ceiling, basically. So it's well worth a watch if you haven't watched this one before. I watched it. quite recently. So yeah, Doctor Who news. The situation is that apparently, and it's all rumours, to take this with a huge amount of salt, that Paramount are going to buy the whole Doctor Who back catalogue, and then with the reboot in 2026, they will be involved with that. Well, I really hope that Paramount don't, because though they have Star Trek, they're in a lot of trouble money-wise. CBS now are in a lot of trouble money-wise, so I don't think it's a good place personally. I would much rather have it on a company that seems to really know what they're doing with new science fiction, and that, of course, is Apple. They have so many science fiction. I was going through it earlier, and I'm thinking they must have 5 or 6 really good science fiction. And I see they've got something new I must sit down and watch from the director of Breaking Bad, which looks very good sci-fi. I must sit down and watch that. So I'm really hoping that's just a rumour and doesn't go through, because that really wouldn't be my choice. Paramount would be my worst choice, to be honest, because though they make Star Trek, I've been trying to watch Strange New Things, and it's just not that great, to be honest. And I'm, they're in a lot of trouble money-wise, because CBS, they split the CBS in America, and I don't think it's a good idea. But I used to just go to Apple, because Apple Plus TV, or Apple, they're just called now, seem to know what they're doing when it comes to science fiction. They've got some great stuff. I would seriously recommend, if you're a sci-fi fan, getting a subscription with Apple, because they have great things like C and Foundation and Severance, and I can't pronounce it. They've got this new thing with the guy who did Breaking Bad. It looks very good. I must sit down and watch it. So yeah, great episode. Personally, I'm not saying I didn't like The Long Game, because I do like The Long Game. It just didn't work in all ways. And because of people, do join the socials. If you're on the social, I'm on there as a Who Target Alex Gibbons. The way around, because Alex Gibbons comes first, of course. But add me. As I said, I put it up there about should Dalek be number 9 and the heavens open, basically. No, you can't have Dalek as number 9. And that's why it isn't number 9. This is now. So The Long Game is number 9. I've got a feeling, because I looked at this yesterday, that number 9 for classic Doctor Who, luckily, is Brain of Morbius. And that is going to be the number 8 for classic Doctor Who. And luckily, like all us lucky people, I've got the season 13 Blu-ray box set. So I shall sit down and watch Brain of Morbius with the box set. So I'm on the one before that in the box set. And I'll sit down and watch Brain of Morbius, and then maybe read the book. I think I've got the book as well. And then I will do a video on what I think of Brain of Morbius. And should it be number 8? If you think it should be higher, lower, why can you have Brain of Morbius at number 8? Then please leave a comment here, or you can get me on YouTube as Alex Gibbons Who Target. You can get me on Facebook with all the same. You can get me on X, Twitter, the same handle, and also on Instagram. If you like the video, please share it, hit the bell, of course. And as I said, there will be a video on Brain of Morbius coming soon. And I think it's been far too long since I've done a video of what I've been watching, because there's so many good things. I will be going to the cinema next week to see The Call, which is the new Alan Bennett film with Ralph Fiennes in, and I'm going to go and see Yugolanis, is it? I think that's the new film from the mad guy who did Poor Things, which I love, and all those sort of films. So yeah, that's the plan for next week. So there will be a video on Brain and Morbius coming soon, and also what I've been watching. So as I said, keep the love, people, and enjoy.